Welcome to my shop. Introduce myself. My name is Jake, and this is Naturally Different Woodcraft. I'm posting this first video to introduce my channel and let you guys know a little bit more about me. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you stick around. I have a lot of things I'd like to share with you and the world, and can't think of a better way to get them out there. First off, like I said, my name is Jake, and I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a musician, I'm kind of an artist, and what I really love is woodworking. I work full-time as a painter here in upstate New York, and pretty much in every other waking breath of the day, I make stuff. Like I said, I make stuff. I like to make things out of wood primarily, but I've, made other stuff out of metal and whatever I can figure out a way to finagle into something usable or different. I try to make junk, so, it's fun. But primarily I like to make wood stuff. So, right now I'm working on a big knife block back there on the table saw. I make cutting boards, wooden jewelry stands, bandsaw boxes. I got a bunch of those that I haven't really finished up yet. Here's a little triangle doodad, and this one here, and one out of poplar, and a ton of them, because they're fun to make. I never really knew how much fun they were to make until I got a bandsaw, so pro tip, you guys out there that are woodworkers, if you don't have a bandsaw, get a bandsaw. It's a lot of fun. In fact, I just got this bad boy over here, my big Craftsman 12-inch, and I have another little Harbor Freight 9-inch one over here on the side. I got this 12-inch one, that's a great deal off of Craigslist. I wound up meeting a really awesome dude who gave me a great deal on it, and turns out we have a ton in common, and it's pretty neat just to meet another woodworker in the area that he does some stuff different than what I do, but it's just neat to, get people together. And really, in that encounter, and meeting other people that, have common interests, whatever, I was like, why not try and meet more people out there? So, here I am, YouTube. It's nice to meet you. I got into woodwork way later than most people do. When I was a kid, my dad wasn't really the builder guy. He didn't really, make stuff out of wood. In fact, the first memory I have of my dad using a power tool, he was outside with a chainsaw, and he was cutting a tree, and he was climbing up on a ladder, and he was cutting a branch down, and he slipped, and the chainsaw went damn near halfway through his knee, and he came in the house, blood pouring down. I'm freaking out. I was 5 years old. I don't know what the hell's going on, and my dad just wraps it up with an ace bandage, and he goes outside, and he keeps on cutting, because he said, hey, I got a full tank of gas. I got to do something with it, and I need this damn tree down. So he went out and just kept cutting. So as a kid, that really freaked me out. I didn't want to do nothing with a chainsaw. Later on, had to do some construction work when I was about 12 or 13 with an uncle, and my uncle was a joker, and he was an old biker and all-around troublemaker. And so my uncle, again, to scar me and make me not want to do anything with tools or wood, we were doing the kitchen floor in my parents' house, uncle doing a favor for his brother, and they had me helping to rip out the floorboards and stuff insulation and yank out old insulation and be a fetch it, step it, pretty much, a gopher, hey, go for this, go for that. And Uncle Mike took the safety guard off of his pneumatic nailer and shot me in the ass from 10 feet away. Now, it hurt, and it buried itself pretty deep into my butt cheek, and so I took off running, and I didn't realize, 12, 13-year-old me, however old I was, that once he unhooked from the air, he couldn't shoot me anymore. So he chased me all over the house laughing, hey, I'm gonna get you. And sure enough, that made me not want to mess with tools. So then, later on, I met a wonderful woman and settled down finally. We'll get into all the other stuff that I've done in my life in other videos, probably, a way to just get out there and talk about stuff. But long story short, I met a great woman who happened to have a young son, and I always wanted a kid. I never was lucky enough to have one with someone, and we fell in love, and I fell in love with him, and here I am 12 years later. We've been together, and my son, I don't call him a stepson because I'm not stepping on anyone. I'm trying to raise him up and give him a father figure. So I changed a lot of stuff in my life, became a dad, meaning stop doing all the kid shit and be a dad, get out there and really show this young man what it is to be a man and a dad. And no qualms about women, men. This day and age, you got to be so careful about what you say. But in my eyes, the way I saw my dad, I wanted to be more like him. So I stopped messing around with, partying and staying out late. And I got a solid job, and I found out that I'm a pretty good painter. And so I've been painting off and on between cooking jobs and whatever you got to do to get by. I've been painting professionally. And another pro tip, if you don't have a job, learn how to drag a brush, because it pays better than working in retail. It pays better than working in fast food. And it's a lot of fun, really. It can be stressful, you can have time deadlines. And today we had a long drive, and then we get to the place where we're working, and it's not the best conditions. But all in all, it's a great job, and it allowed me to also start seeing construction. So seeing all this construction and seeing how people make stuff with wood, it started to spark the interest. Like, it had to have been in there when I was a kid. I remember making a bed, had all the pieces pre-cut, some plan I came up with to make a loft bed. Had all the pieces cut at the hardware store. I came home, I screwed them all together with a drill. It's about as much of a tool as I ever use, a power drill. That's it. And one night, middle of the night, the bed fell apart, fell down onto the couch that was underneath it. So again, wasn't really a woodworker. But then, and being in the construction trade now, like where I see new construction and I see all these guys putting up trim molding and hanging doors, it made me interested, because I've always been curious of how to do anything and everything. I want to learn every skill that I could ever possibly learn. I was just a little timid, honestly, about power tools. I didn't know what to do with them. So we bought a house eventually. We lived in a little single wide trailer. We were broke. I'm not trying to portray something here on YouTube. We were just broke, regular folks trying to get by. And we scrimped and we saved and we saved and we scrimped. And next thing you know, we had enough money to put a down payment on a house. And it's nothing fancy. It's a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with a full basement that can be finished. And that's why we bought it. So another pro tip, you're broke, trying to buy a house, get an FHA loan, and find a house that can be improved upon, so that while you're living there, over the time you're living there, you can improve on the house, and hopefully in a few years, sell it. So that's our plan. And in all of this, I had a shed in the back. I had the first time in my life, I have my man cave, as they say. And it's great, because when I saw the shed, I went, you know what? My dad's got an old table saw. I want to build stuff. I want to try it. What's the worst that can happen? I lose a finger. I don't play guitar much anymore. Lose a finger. Who cares? But no, I didn't. I still got all 10. And it turns out I'm okay at it. And I'm getting better. And I'm striving to get better. And that's why I'm here. So I want to share me with the world and my journey, so maybe it inspires another regular average dude out there to look at your life and maybe improve upon it. Maybe you finally see hey, this asshole can do it. Why can't I do it? You don't have to be a master of a tool before you try using it. Just go at it, try it, be safe, do your research. Before I used a table saw, I watched 50 videos on how to use a table saw. I didn't know. My dad wasn't really, he's now 81 and bad off. And he's not in any shape to show me. I mean, shit, when I got the table saw from him, it didn't have a rip fence on it. He was using it without one, just both hands pushing boards across. So that's not the guy to learn from. So get out there, try something, be different. basis of my brand, my channel, naturally different. I've always been naturally different. There's never been a time in my life where you can put me in a box and say he's that. I'm a little bit of a hippie, I guess. You can see I have my Rastafarian flag hanging up because I do have a lot of Rasta beliefs, but I can't call myself a Rasta because I don't follow all of their tenets. I love a cheeseburger, but I do believe in one love and one heart and one world and one people, and the idea that we are all brothers and sisters when it boils down to it. Whether you're a KKK guy, a Black Panther, or somewhere in between all the extremes, we're all family. We are all one, and we're all naturally different in our own way. So we have to accept each other for who we are and make a better world of it instead of arguing about all the differences. Accept those differences. Differences are what makes shit great. You know, we got two pieces of wood from the same tree. They look different, even though it's the same sort of thing. It's like a fingerprint. Everyone's different. So love it, embrace it, be divergent, be diverse. It doesn't mean you have to be as weird as you possibly can for the sake of being weird. But be your damn self. Don't try and fit yourself in a box. Don't try to be somebody else's anything, you know? It's not just woodcraft for me, and I know that that's in my name, Naturally Different Woodcraft, and I am trying to show you what I make with wood, but I want to show you how I want to make a better world. So, YouTube, greetings, love. I'm glad to meet all of you. If you have any comments or suggestions, or if you want some ideas, or you want to know more, well, stay tuned and comment and have a dialogue. If you like what you see and you want to know more about me, or you want to keep in tune for what I put out there, subscribe, hit the like button. Apparently it does good stuff. I don't know. I'm new to all this. So, like it, don't like it, hate it. Make fucked up jokes in the comments. I don't care. It's fun. It's YouTube, man. Let's all have a good time. I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait for you guys to see more. So, see you next time.